Hello, dear viewers. Today, our guest is a student at the Faculty of Information Technology of the Czech Technical University.
Hi, my name is Anya. I am 19 years old. I study data engineering at the Faculty of Information Technology of the Czech Technical University.
Why did you choose Brno instead of Prague?
Because firstly, it is cheaper, and secondly, they provided cheap accommodation. We lived in the center of the city, and the school was a 4-minute walk away. I mean, it was very close. It didn't take long to get there. And I'm basically from a small town, and Prague seemed a lot to take in, so I decided to begin with Brno.
How did you choose your field of study? You knew that you wanted to study programming before you even left Ukraine?
Yes, I made this decision a long time ago. I was always attracted to mathematics. I'm technical minded person, so I wondered where I can apply math and my analytical thinking. And as a result, I chose programming. It was in the 9th grade. I knew what I wanted to become in future a long time ago.
Why didn't you apply for programming in Ukraine?
Well, it seems to me the level of education there is a bit lower than in Europe, and it doesn't really inspire me that the most of the teachers in Ukraine are already over 50. Programming is the field where you need to learn new things all the time, you need to evolve, and I doubt they can teach new technologies.
So, you completed a year of course in Brno and came here to enter the Czech Technical University. Tell us please about the admission exam for your program.
Well, there are two options. Either you take the admission exams at the university or you take the SCIO exam. I took the SCIO one. I passed the math test twice. The first time I got 80%, the second time 99. But basically, 65 to 70 is enough to pass
A
it.
bit too much. Why did you take the SCOI exam? Why didn't you take the admission exam at the university?
Well, because SCIO can be taken several times a year. 5 attempts during the year, so you can take it all 5 times. You just have to pay 500 Czech koruna for each exam. So basically, if you take the admission exam, this is just one shot. But with SCIO, you have several of them. And you know in advance whether you can enter or not because the results come in a few days. So,
Can you tell for those who don't know, what is the SCIO exam?
So in my case, it consists of the math test. It is short in time. You just need to, for the second time, I had already turned around the Czech part. It has parts in Czech and Slovak. I had cut the notebook slightly so that I could start it right away. Because the most difficult thing, the way I see it, is to do it in time. But the tasks themselves do not differ much from the admission exams.
Do they test your logical thinking or...
Rather, your knowledge of math formulas, combinatorics,
Can you give an example?
like what is the probability to draw out the blue ball if there are 13 blue balls and there are 25 balls in total?
What was about the balls? How much? I didn't count. I'm just curious, what level of mathematics you need to pass it?
Well, I think it will be easier for the guys from the CIS countries because math in our schools is taught in depth. We study derivatives in 11th grade and the Czechs study them at the university. The way I see it, it is not so difficult, but if you don't know math, then you need to prepare, of course.
What about the level of English? How high should it be to study at the university?
Well, I believe that all the books, especially the most useful, are written in English, and the level should be high enough to watch videos and read books in English. I think B2 or even C1.
Books in English? You mean they're not fiction books?
Technical ones.
So you mean the level of technical English should be high. Great. Can you please tell us how long have you been preparing for the admission exam? Were you nervous? How you assess your level of preparation?
I didn't prepare at all.
Lucky girl.
Well, I took the SCIO exam.
What do you mean?
I revised the combinatorial formulas. I took it and passed it. But, that's an exceptional case because I really like mathematics and I studied it. But if you need to prepare, then, I don't know, some guys have been preparing for about 2 months and passed it as well. So I think everything is possible. To pass exams is the easiest part for my money.
A girl who loved mathematics. A born mathematician, guys, right. You study in the Czech language and it is free of charge because this is a public university. And as we know, studying at a public university in the Czech language is free. How do you prove your knowledge of the Czech
I
language?
submitted a certificate from Go Study. I had the B2 level, but you can take the Czech exam at the university. It consists of a written and oral parts. But if Go Study provides such an opportunity, why not use it?
Is it free?
It is free.
Are you a freshman?
I finished the first year.
Finished the first year. Okay, tell us what was your first year like? Most interesting.
Well, for me, the first year, especially the first semester, was the hardest because I had to spend a lot of time in the library to study all the time, to solve problems. It was really difficult, but if you give it enough attention and time, everything is real.
What do you study? What disciplines do you have?
In the first semester, we had 2 mathematics, 2 programming, and a subject that is more or less similar to physics. So,
More or less similar to physics. Tell us please, what do you do at the lectures?
lectures are held in such a way that, well, basically, training includes lectures and practices. The professors tell you the theory, explain how it all works. They can, for instance, show examples on programming. We had one lecture in programming where our teacher programmed, but programmed incorrectly and asked us where he made a mistake. We corrected it and thus got the correct answer. In practices, we write our own programs and get credits for them.
That is what interests me. So in fact, you are a programmer because you don't understand what data engineering is. So I'm asking, is this programming?
Yes.
Tell me please, maybe you have already programmed, written some sites, different codes.
Yes. Well, basically, at the beginning of the training, from the first homework on programming, you have to write some piece of work. So the writing begins straight away. In the second semester, we wrote a semester thesis. It was a large project which we had to defend and got our credits for it. So if you're asking whether we write anything or not, then yes, of course, we write straight from the beginning.
In your opinion, is it possible to enter the university without any basic knowledge of the programming?
Of course, I have a lot of friends who entered with zero knowledge, never programmed in their life, and they study very well now. So it all depends on the desire and discipline. I mean, if you do the best you can, you get the results. There are guys who have not learned programming and they do badly at the university, but there are guys who had no knowledge and now they have very high grades.
Tell us please, what programming language do you study?
In the first semester, we studied C. Then in the second semester, we studied C++. But from the second semester, we can choose subjects. It's very cool because I took Java, for example. You can take whatever language you want, Python, C#, and so on. So basically, there are options. From the second semester, you can even choose virtual reality. I did take it. I do not know what is happening there at all. But there are plenty of options. But initially, we study C and then C++.
So it keeps getting harder.
No, I wouldn't say that. In fact, the first semester was much more difficult than the second. You had to know math and programming rather than to actually write programs. The second semester is easier.
Tell us please more about your field of study. What is it?
My field of study is Nalostny Inženýrství. It is connected with data science and artificial intelligence, basically teaching the computer to think.
I have an interesting question for you. Are there a lot of Russian-speaking students?
Yes, there are. We have even a group in social media and we help each other. In fact, everyone is so friendly and if you don't know something, you can always ask for help.
Do you find like-minded people at the faculty?
No, it is not difficult to find like-minded people.
I see. Are there a lot of girls? Stereotypical question from me.
Well, the vast majority, of course, are boys, but there are a lot of girls too. We had HelloFit, it's like an orientation course, and one girl, either a sophomore or a junior, showed us around the university and said, well, you're a girl, it'll be easy for you, you'll get whatever you want. But it doesn't work that way.
Since we have brought up the language, I want to ask you, what is the attitude towards the Russian-speaking students?
Absolutely the same as towards the Czechs. For example, if someone pronounces Y like Y, as we learned in school, instead of the Czech Y, no one will even notice it.
Tell us please, what gadgets do you use?
I have a laptop and a telephone. A telephone is useless for programming, so only a laptop, as long as it does not freeze up. Because you need to download, for example, some development environments, and they amount to 5 or 10 gigabytes each. And it is not very cool when your computer freezes up and you simply cannot turn it on.
And what model do you have?
I have a Lenovo IdeaPad.
And what devices do you use at the university?
There are about 50 computers in every classroom where we program, so there is enough for everyone. We don't have to bring laptops with us. In fact, we cannot use our own laptops during exams, for example. We are only allowed to use laptops in classrooms. There are also classrooms with Macs, so there are different operation systems.
But you have Windows, as I understand. Is it better?
Well, I have Windows and Linux. And by the way, mostly likely you had to install Linux or if you have a Mac.
Our interview has an interesting entertainment part. My colleague, Olya, will ask you a quick round of questions, if you don't mind. Yes, thank you, Julia. My name is Olya, and this is a quick round of questions. Your favorite part, of course. So, Anya, study or personal life?
Personal life.
Czech Republic or Ukraine?
Czech Republic.
There are no patriots here. iOS or Android?
Android.
Robots or human?
Humans.
Meet Bagwan then. Mac or Windows?
Mac.
Okay, Brno or Prague?
Prague, the capital.
German or Czech?
German.
Virtual reality or a mortal world?
The latter one.
We have not reached the point, I see. What's your favorite 5 places in Prague?
This, Zlut Lazny, Riga Gardens, and Naplavka Library, the Prague Castle.
Culturally advanced, I see. And 3 places in Brno?
IKEA, McDonald's, and Starbucks.
Next to nothing.
Yeah.
5 things to take with you when you're moving to the Czech Republic.
Nice notebooks because they're expensive here. Passport, telephone, laptop, and pillow.
3 reasons to choose Czech Republic.
Because it's cheap, because it's Europe, and because it's not Poland.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you 3 myths about programmers. And you say, is it true or false? Women can't be good programmers.
Myth.
All programming languages are the same.
False.
Okay. Can you reinstall Windows?
If I Google it, I can.
That's all. We all call Anya to reinstall Windows. And thank you, Anya, for this wonderful interview, for your attention. Now I turn the floor back to Julia. Did you have any large and interesting programming projects during your freshman year?
Yes, at the end of the semester, we had a large project in C++. We were given 3 topics to choose from. So we chose one of the topics and made a large project. To my mind, we had to write more than 2,000 lines of code.
Do you have a job?
Yes, I have. I have been working since the beginning of my second year in an IT firm, and our department won a tender from Skoda. So now we test a project for Skoda.
Not bad. How do you manage study and work at the same time?
Well, basically everyone knows what happened during the second semester. The lockdown happened. But I managed to schedule my study in such a way that I had all lectures and practices from Monday to Wednesday, and on Thursday and Friday I worked. Then was the lockdown, we all worked from home, then we returned to the office. We worked like this. I mean, it was not stressful. I managed to keep up even more so during the lockdown.
Basically, if you want, you can work during the first year.
Yes, and I think a lot of the guys work from the second year. From the second semester.
Tell us please where the IT specialists live, with the exact address.
Well, I live in an apartment, but the university provides dormitories. Most of the guys live, of course, in dorms, but I prefer to live in an apartment.
One of the dormitory is located in the university campus?
No, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to get to the university.
Do you have a plan to stay and work in the Czech Republic after your graduation, or do you want to conquer the Silicon Valley?
Of course I did. I'm just that good. Yes, in fact, the Czech Republic is a very cool country in the sense that there are a lot of vacancies, so you can always find a job. I found a job with no education at all. So, in this regard, it is very cool, but of course, I want to progress more, develop more, basically everything more.
Of course, we cannot leave you without a question from a subscriber. So, your question are right now: is there a lot of physics at the faculty?
No, not very much.
Concisely and precisely, is there a lot of math?
There is a lot.
Is it true that you don't have any free time?
Well, I for one found time to idle around, and so did all my friends. Of course, there is less free time than in other universities as I see it.
Have you been offered a job at a large company?
Yes, or rather, I contacted them and they agreed.
How difficult is to learn technical terminology in Czech?
To my mind, it's not difficult at all because you always can Google it, and basically everything is clear in the context. I mean, it's basically the same as in English.
Anya, what programming language you study on a priority basis?
On a priority basis, there's no such thing because we must learn the vast majority of programming languages. At first, it's of course C, then C++, then Java, and so on. Every student chooses the field of study later.
What is better, Mac or Windows?
I have Windows, but Macs are cool, of course, so take Mac.
Right. What subjects are the most important?
Mathematics. That's all you need.
Average cost of a room in a dormitory?
About 2,500 Czech koruna, something like that.
Are you sure?
Yes, I live in an apartment, but my friends live in the dorm.
Do you know how much IT specialists earn in the Czech Republic?
Well, it's different in each case, junior and seniors. I mean, it depends on your, firstly, education and secondly, experience. So, I don't know. Well, if you're already 25 years old and you have a lot of experience, then I don't know, 50,000?
And I know for sure because I googled it. From 35,000 to 85,000 for IT specialist to a system administrator. Got it. Okay. Of course, we wish all your dreams come true. But before you leave us, I will ask you, what advice would you give to the future IT specialists, future applicants?
The main advice I think is not to listen to anyone when choosing this field of study. Like, there is a lot of money or it is super cool. If only you like it, then do it.
Thank you very much for this interview. You made it clear that programming is life and life is programming. And come again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.